It's bloody freezing. Too cold yet to plant my Aldi £1.49 dahlia packs. Freeze to death. There's been frost every night. What am I doing? Well, steaming up, that's what I'm doing. I've took down that shelf. I thought, what's all this stuff on this shelf? My last bit of decking. Most of that can go back inside. And that little offcut I have there, that'll do for a little shelf. Just to put the essentials on. I'm using at that time, otherwise you just go rusty. This is to patch up that rotten side of the base, although it's all bloody rotten. It might be better just scrapping it. If I've got a load of decking, I could make a rose arch which will last for 20 odd years out of decking wood. Because it lasts forever, this stuff. Yesterday I paid the water bill for 6 months, 130 fucking quid. That would have paid for a new rose arch, wouldn't it? Nothing much else to report. It's caught a mouse in one of the new traps I got. Should upload that. Shopping for 4 rat traps. Little excursion. Like I said, I was going to take a break. All this faffing about. Wait for summer. Wait till the lockdown's ended. When does it end? My birthday on the 14th. I asked my mate Clive if he fancied going to the pub and going for a curry, but I need to save some money. Night out, plus a curry plus taxis, you're talking about 60-70 quid, so might just have a quiet night in with a bottle of QC instead, if it's on a Sunday. Well, nearly finished. I got 3 pots of this. It says exterior brown wood filler. Ready mix, can be painted or stained brown. What do they call brown? Yellow. A boiled shite colour. The scraper's full of guns from the last lot I did. I think it's from when I were putting no more nails on the gaps and cracks in the back bedroom. Yeah, well, not bad. Consistency. As for the shelf, that's up, you see. There's space for 1 or 2 sprays and a radio. That's my old bog radio. It's better, innit? It didn't need all that other stuff. Should I cover that wall now with more tin plates, bike advertising things? It's a faffing about. So you can see all that's rotted. So I thought squidge that filler on it. See how it goes. I've put some blocks of wood underneath because when I first erected my rose arch, I put 4 blocks in and a piece of plywood, stood that on top. But of course, over the years it's rotted and the level of soil suddenly went woof, about 8 inches. And it's all now down the bottom. That's why I said it'd be better rebuilding it completely, but because that's good wood there, put 2 screws in there, it's holding quite nicely. I know I should have put a load of stain on first, but it's not worth bothering with, that'll last a few more years. Other ones, quite solid. Right, so I'll put some filler on. It's going to be dark in 2 hours. Put some of that filler on, see how it sets tomorrow. And then wood stain. And then that's another little job finished, isn't it? I'll get on with doing the kitchen cupboards with that sticky back plastic then. So I'm still keeping busy. Help by Blackie. Hey Blackie. You helping, baby? Good boy. Yeah. What's wrong with your ears? Your ears itching. Come here. Come here, Blackie. There's always something with you muggies. Alright, baby? No? Yeah, so I'll carry on. Bike's not been out since I got them traps, and like I said, I've caught one rat, but there's still something scratching behind the bloody freezer. It's naughty Bobby, isn't it, Blackie? Bringing mice in to play with, and then they're still alive, so they scuttle behind the bloody fridge and piss all over. And crap. Right, so yeah, squidging this in. Next little job. Well, I was going to square it off, but I thought, hang on, I'll fill that gap in so the rain will just sort of run off, hopefully. Anyway, a lot more solid already than it was. It's a rose arch, isn't it? It's nothing that's going to stand close inspection. It's just a little budget job. And it'll look better with lots of waterproof wood stain on deep mahogany like this. Actually that's a different colour, that's some cheap stuff I got and it's flaking off. So you're better with rustings, aren't you? But it's £12 a tin. I think I have a quarter tin left. Just enough for 1 or 2 coats. The way that stuff dried on my fingers, it must be, I don't know, is it that stuff that dries sort of semi-flexible? We shall see. But like I said, it'll outlive me now. It warms up. I was thinking of getting some climbers in these pots and have some wisteria climbing all over them. If they don't die off with this cold, I'm not going to plant anything yet. So there we are. Look at the back, little shelves. They're good brackets, aren't they? They're from the pound shop. And when I went back for some more, why do we, no. I said yes, no. I put some here, they look a bit crap. Look a bit industrial, don't they? Could always take them down if I need another shelf, but like I said, that shelf was too big. So that's just right now. I've got some pies in the oven. Shouldn't really do a starvation diet. I had nothing at all yesterday apart from some of them little micro pizzas and the crap I should have scraped the tops off. The actual bases are too tough to eat. So that's it, another little bit to do it yourself. Must keep busy, prevent me from going mad. I'm not steaming up, am I? Can you hear that? Not a very loud whistle. I'll leave it on for a bit. Yes, I made a start on the drawers, but like I said, because they're all swollen. Well, I mean, that's the worst one. I'll carry on tomorrow with them. I wanted to do the little gardening job while the good weather lasted. Gravy? Yes, please. 1 lump or 2. Yes, a butter pie and a cheese and onion pie. That's all they had. They sold there to meat and potato. You noticed them little, well, there's a little dehumidifier missing from there. And the one upstairs, this one had a funny smell. And it didn't seem to be working, just making a noise. I've had the same trouble before. They last about a year or two and then they ping out, the little Aldi ones, you know, $34.99. And I looked and the bloody plug was a funny colour and melted on the mains positive terminal. So I binned it and I thought I'll check the one upstairs. And that were working, but that also had all melted. And that's on when I'm out at work, if I go, well, you know, when I go back to work. So I thought that could start a bloody fire. The mains, but there are a 12-volt transformer built in the lead, you know. Any kind of transformer gets hot, but why should they short out? Although they're processing water on it, so it makes you wonder. I think a bad design, so I've binned both of them. Save the wire, because it's good, solid twin, connected twin. You know, for my bike, in case I do any wiring. Bloody things, so I've no dehumidifier now. But after my last electric bill, getting that bloody kettle doesn't seem to have affected it. £110 for a month, just electricity. Gas for 30 odd. So it's eaten into my wages again I got on Friday. Maybe it's all the other lights I have in the front room, them twinkly blue lights in the alcoves and my little wall lights. I think they're low energy ones. That's what's on my bulbs over for low energy, including the what do you call it, GU10s, you know, the spotlights. They're all low energy. Put a bit more in. Oh no, ketchup. Yes, a pile of bills, can you see? £89 paid. 1st of March, that's off my Lloyd's one. I think if I didn't have any cats, I had a lot less bills. Well, bye for now. I must cut down on my appliances. Well, as spring finally sprung and lockdown almost over with, are things back to normal at last? Let's bleeding well up, so where am I going? Is my journey essential? Well, guess who's been out catching rats again, or large mice, and there's at least one or two in the kitchen and a nasty smell. It's a piddle, isn't it? It just stinks. Dirty little sods. I was actually having microwave, what was it? Sweet and sour chicken, $1.49, Morrison's own brand, at the kitchen table, and Bobby was stood there with his ears forward, and I looked and a little grey head stuck its head out from behind the cooker. Sorry, cooker. So, yet again, let's go and get a bloody, I'm going to get 2 rat traps, the heavy metal ones. That shop in my town has stopped selling them, they only have little mouse traps. So where's your big metal rat traps? Where do I do? Oh, so never mind. So I have to now go to, not Potholes, to Europa, near the hospital, which is near the petrol station near work. And I wanted to fill up anyway, because I'd dolloped some Red-X in when there was only a bit of fuel in. That's not really wise, is it? I meant to get full tank and then put a bit of Red-X in. 19 litres. Actually, I've not checked the trip meter, but can't be so much in. I monitor my usage off the trip meter. Do we all do that? I don't have an indicator to say low fuel, and they're never very accurate anyway. And today's payday, that's a good thing. I checked last night my online banking. Excuse all the coughing. Still not any better. As soon as the warmer weather comes, it stops, and then my hay fever starts. Yeah, I checked online, and the pay isn't as low as I thought it'd be. I'm baffled as to what's it meant to be, 80%? Well, it's sort of normal, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe they don't hate me at work after all. Another lad's gone back, another workmate, same height as me, right? Big lad, pleasant lad. Have you heard that, Steve? I'm going back. I said, no. I was tempted to get a curry tonight and have some drinks in as I've been on antibiotics for a week, as of Tuesday to Tuesday. And I had my last one in the middle of the week because I've had another bad tooth. We're all swollen up, and I thought it was about the last time was last year with the sharp fang left incisor. No, I tap it. And one next to it, he said, it is next to it. I said, bloody hell. So rather than wait till it's turned into a proper abscess, I've been on antibiotics and it sort of cleared it up. Still feels a bit funny. What's the rush? Just wait a little bit. I've left this a bit late going into the sunset to get rat traps. Really bright, isn't it? I've got some tape on my visor though. My other helmets, I should have put them on with the sunshade on. Yeah, well, he's going to indicate and finish. No. See, the car's coming now. One's doing that, and a white van man pulled out right in the front of a huge truck. They both jammed the bloody brakes on. What are they doing, faffing about? See, big wagon. I've no change. Oh, and I have no change neither. There's only me in the queue. No, there isn't. Gathering ninnies. Always make sure you've got plenty of change if you're getting a bus. It'll be near £5 anyway. That's why I avoid buses these days. It's £5 to Blackburn and back. That's Ian. He had the Hayabusa and half a dozen other bikes, and if he still has them. I always seem to bump into people I know when I ride on my bike. Not that I know many people. Oh, you know that bollard, I stuck all that sticky so-called high-vis tape on. Well, look, someone has ripped it all off again. Only trying to cause bloody crashes. Imagine crunching into that curb on your way home late at night. It'll buckle all car wheel up, wouldn't it? I mean, I did it once and my front wheel was slightly buckled. I got a block of wood and whacked it with a lump hammer. Not wise with aluminium, it can crack, but there's still a slight kink to it. I did exactly that, impatiently waiting at traffic lights. I thought, sod it, I'll do a little detour where the church is just back there. And I forgot that widen the pavement as a traffic calming measure and whack. I didn't come off, but silly thing to do. Just to save a few bloody seconds. What else has been happening? Not a lot. Do you do Twitter? I don't do Facebook really. Some people keep sending messages and I'm not keen on Facebook. So I'm on Twitter. And only if I've annoyed Mike McCartney. Yes, Paul McCartney's brother. I chat to a few people on Twitter. Carol Vorderman, she gave me a couple of likes for things I'd sent, pictures and stuff, and suggestions for a home gym. She got a home gym and she's 60 and she's there lugging weights. So you're going to do yourself a mischief. I said, why not get the rubber floor ripped up and put a disco dancing floor full of coloured lights there instead? And I got a like. Carol Vorderman. Well, I'm 57 in a couple of weeks. She's 60. I've always preferred sensible older women. Wonder if she's a good cook. Cook, I said, cook. Yeah, Mike McCartney put a picture on. I mentioned it before. He has an old fruit machine from the 1930s in working condition. They're worth £2,500 to £3,000. There's one on eBay for £2,500 in London. And I said, I did a bit of research, Mike. It's called a Mills Castle. And I said, fully working, it's worth £2,500, but if there's something seriously wrong, it won't be worth anything. It could cost you a lot of money. And I said, that'll be another Mills that'll cost McCartney lots of money. And he's not spoke to me since. He normally says, thanks SR, or thanks Steve. He calls me Steve Sesame Street. And he's not spoke to me since. He normally says, thanks SR, or thanks Steve. He calls me Steve Sesame Street. I think my wit has annoyed him. I'm full of wits, people have often said. You know what I mean, don't you? Because Mills, Heather Mills, every one leg, cost Paul McCartney 24 million when he got divorced, you know what I mean? So I said, this is another Mills, the fruit machine. This is another Mills that could cost McCartney lots of money. So he doesn't appreciate my humour. Especially because we're in a comedy troupe, that scaffold group we was in the 60s. We're meant to be comedy and novelty songs. Oh, we'll drink a drink a drink to Lily the Pink, the Pink, the Pink, the saviour of the human race. Then we gave her medicinal compound. We did Liverpool Lou as well. Oh, Liverpool Lou, lovely Liverpool Lou, why do you behave just like other girls do? Why must my poor heart keep following you? Lay down and love me, my Liverpool Lou. You say that you love me. They didn't write it, written by an Irishman in the 50s. In fact, Paul McCartney got into a bit of trouble because he produced it for Mike in his studios. it's a traditional arrangement by Paul McCartney, and this Irish fellow said, "Hey you, that's my song," and they had to reprint all the record labels. I forgot what he's called now, the Irish fella. But no, oh yeah, they did thank you very much, didn't they? Thank you very much for your free iron, thank you very much, thank you. He recently redid that to raise money for the NHS, but not sure how much revenue it would have raised. Seeing as old Captain Tom raised over 30 million. Should have joined Captain Tom around the garden on his image frame. Mike's 77 now. Yeah, so they are Twitter. That's when we do it yourself. I'm going to work on that Rose Arch this afternoon. But the time now, it's gone 3 o'clock. Time just flies by, doesn't it? Still have all weekend to do it, it's going to be nice. And I've started doing that sticky back plastic on the kitchen units, but because they're so damp and swollen, it's not as neat a job as I'd hoped. Still, it's the doors are going to look nicer, I think. The drawers are all swollen up. So, petrol station first. You say that you love me. All wrapped up and gone, all Liverpool. Where's he going? Oh, good, middle lane's clear. Don't pull out and hear you lots. Meant to be a lockdown, it's still as busy as normal, isn't it? Where are you all coming from? From Smurfland, where we belong. Yeah, I mentioned that to someone. Was it Phil? In Oldham. He's got another BMW, he was telling me. I said, yeah, I still have the blue bug. I said, last summer I nearly bought a leather jacket in bright blue, but that would have been silly. A bit too blue. Although this jacket's blue. Blue. I said I look like a bloody Smurf. Still faffing about yet with this road junction. What are you doing? You see me all the wood sticking out of his car. Let's get some money out first. Well, I'll fill up first, and I could pay on my card, but you never know if they're gonna clone your bloody card at these places, do you? Well, you never know. That paint smells warm again, not flaking off. No. Card, where is it? Oh, well, 50 miles on the trip meter. So there should be a fair bit in. Let's have a look. Oh, there is. Why did I think there was hardly any in? Twat. £1.35 a litre. Oh, fair bit in then, £12 odd. £13. Like I said, it's just to dilute that dollop of red X I put in. I'll get lottery for tonight as well. It's still 180 million, isn't it? It'll do. Hello, number 7, £13. Is the lottery machine working? Can I have 2 lucky dips for tonight's Euro, please? I think I'll have a scratch card number 14, please, just to make up the change. £20. Thank you very much. No, thank you. I don't normally bother with them, but why not? What was in the post this morning? Another bloody bill. Water bill this time, £130, but I do have a month to pay it. I don't know if I can try and cut down on me unnecessary spending, but these rat traps are necessary, so there you go. It's a rat trap, and you being caught. Well, hopefully. The stinks in the kitchen already. I don't know when he caught them bloody. I'm sure there's 2 of them. So we're scratching near the table, and I've seen the one behind the cooker. What bite's that? Underseat exhaust. I'm thinking of fixing my super loud bleeper and not bother if it's too noisy. I can hardly hear this little chirping one. There's room for it in that little hollow space at the back near the light. See, I've already made any progress. Been off work for 7 weeks and it's exactly the same as it was back then. Well, have you noticed there's no bugger working here? We're waiting for parts, it's all held up because of lockdown. Still steaming up. Despite the fogging cobblers, they don't work, do they? It's going to be a good helmet as well. In the past I've actually drilled little holes in, at an angle to blast cold air down. And it sort of works slightly, but if it's worth bothering trying to do it again, it's only during the winter months, isn't it? This is meant to be my summer helmet. Hang on, Albert. I'm digging the road up here still. And once again, nobody working. Maybe they've all gone on strike. Yeah, I'm pleased I seem to have full pay. I'm baffled. Hope it's not a mistake and I suddenly owe them lots of money. Well, let's hope this summer's going to be better than last summer. Although, having said that, me and my mate Clive had a few good days out. I was watching a video by Simon Entwistle. He went round Clitheroe, not on a pub crawl, but we bumped into him in the Swan and Royal. He does a thing called Top Hat Tours, ghost walks of Salisbury Hall, that 1320 manor house I've been to a lot. And he's done a, what do you call it, video, virtual tour. Rather than taking people around, he went round himself on his phone, telling these interesting stories about various murders in the 1700s in Clitheroe. And at the end he said, I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I have not qualified for any kind of compensation for lost trade. And to be honest, I'm struggling. Any donations will be gratefully received, so I sent a donation. And he said, thanks very much, Steve, greatly appreciated. I said, well, a nice fella, I'll buy him a pint any time. Yeah, me and Clive went on a pub crawl, Clitheroe and Blackburn and then Darwin. So last summer wasn't total lockdown, was it, when it all sort of eased? What is this, petrol? That were water, it'd evaporate, wouldn't it? So the point I'm making is we weren't all stuck in, bored to tears, watching the bloody telly, vegetating like I've been. Seeing more patches. Rather worrying, isn't it? Should I call at the bike shop on the way home? Not going on anywhere despite the sunshine. Yes, I keep my bleeper on to alert wanderers. I'm not brought to math, but my Buffy's just as good. Yeah, it's a good shop that, got all sorts in. The rat traps, they look slightly different, but £1.50 now. They look a bit thinner, but as long as you work, silly son. As long as you work, that's the main thing. So I bought 4 of them, and some expanding foam which I might try in the bottom of my rose arch. If things get back to normal, I've not a lot of bills. I thought of remaking that outer decking rather than trying to keep patching up where it's gone rotten. I better turn you round here. And you do-it-yourself places, you have to be aware of screws and nails on the floor, don't you? There was a little sachet of fiberglass hardener there. Look at this. Potholes on the roads and potholes on the car parks. Yeah, that sun's bright, isn't it? Look you. It's alright, there's a red light, it's alright. I've got to go, thank you. And there'll be another red light as well. Or 2. And they stay green for about 4 bloody vehicles. Better bodies, personal training, fitness, nutrition. Maybe I should join a gym, but is it too old at 57 in 2 weeks? I think maybe I feel tired all the time. Well, I know it's my poor diet. Plus, if you aren't actually doing proper physical work, do it yourself isn't exactly exercise, is it? I'm going to feel horrible. Just feel really all the time. I don't feel so bad today, that's why I got my bike out, but shouldn't feel knackered after having a good night's sleep. Look at this, queue a mile long. This junction wants sorting out, all the bloody road works, and what gets done, not a lot. It'll turn red again, that's why I'm letting this chap out. Yep, I'm lucky to get out at the next lot as well. As you pull out of there, just to go in there. Well, what's this summer gonna bring? Crowdy beaches at Blackpool, Southport Carousel, Rivington Bourne. Or is it all going to trigger off again? Shouldn't do if them vaccines actually work. Apparently, all those over 50s are meant to be getting them before middle of April. I thought it were March, but it's not, it's middle of April. for the Chinese bike. I was saying to Beans on Toast about AJS. I did them rather a disservice by criticising the Chinese bikes, but actually it's been in the Brown family since the early 70s. They made a trial bike called a Stormer, and it's been with the Browns ever since. But he said, well, to make them affordable, we've had to have production moved to China. Well, I don't know about moved, I think they've always been made there. But Chinese bikes aren't meant to be so bad these days. The Chinese must realise that if they don't improve the quality control, then the sales are going to suffer. So therefore, Chinese bikes are a lot more reliable and good quality. I mean, someone said about Triumph, oh, they made him bloody Taiwan or something, although Taiwan are actually better than China for good quality engineering. Oh, what an exciting day out. Rat traps and expanding foam. Still, it was still light at 6, just going dark at 6 last night, so I potentially got a couple of hours to do me woodwork. I said, oh no, I'll sod it, I'll leave it till tomorrow. Not getting cold in the backyard. Might be, well, when it's sunny it is bloody freezing, isn't it? That's the thing. Cloudy, it's warmer, it's sun. Brass monkey weather. Oh, the bike shop shut, look at that, Friday. So they are still on full lockdown then. I thought they'd have bikes there and just do a bit of business. Like it said last year, you want something doing, you leave your bike outside, give them a wave through the window, leave your key on the seat, then you fit your tyres and then you give you a ring to pick it up. So why are they still on a full lockdown? Or is that the rules? It was going to B&M again. Like I said, I don't want to be spending money like water. I'm going to get another roll. I don't think I've enough to finish. It'll get squashed down my jacket like the others did slightly. I might not need it actually. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6 meters. 1, 2, 6. Could play it by ear, couldn't I? If I need some more, I'll nip back next week. See, look at this. Potholes lying down the road. A nasty bump there. It'd be better when it were cobbles in Victorian times. On there. Kettle on, boots off, feet up. Because I've centralised this cooker, put a trap that they are different, you can feel the thinner stuff, but at least you drop the price, so. And it's good strong spring, so it should work. So there's one there, that's where I saw it pop its head out. I've moved the hoover, and I put 2 there. There were 4 bits of smelly cheese left. So hopefully there'll be a body or 2 before the weekend's out. Oh yeah, my little dehumidifier stopped working, so I've took the back off. Cleaned it with full of bloody dust, so I've Swished it around in warm water and got a paintbrush to get all the dust off. And if I dry it out totally, hopefully it won't fuse and it should work again. You do get full of dust because it draws air in and then blasts it out the top. Interesting how they work. There's a little aluminium grill panel, cast aluminium or something, and it freezes it into ice. And then it goes into a melting cycle and melts it so it drips down. And it just does that all the time. But it's on 24 hours a day. Maybe that's why I've got bloody big lecky bills. Because there's 2 upstairs. One in my living room. And this one. And one in my little utility room. The one that doesn't work very well. But like I told a chap that said he had one, I said, thanks for the offer, but to get my bills down I'm going to start turning off appliances and using less lighting. So when my bill came, it was just as big as before I got this gas kettle. Even though I've not used that kettle for ages, so I'm baffled. What's using all the bloody electricity? I suppose it all adds up, but I've got all them super saver bulbs, so I don't understand what the problem is. Maybe in the loft someone's rigged a wire up and they're tapping off my power supply to supply their house. Hey Blackie. Bills, 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 hey baby. Where have you left all your breakfast? You've nibbled at a couple of plates and left it, haven't you? Come here, come here. There's a cuddle. Come here, come here. Little Blackie. Yeah, beautiful pussycats, aren't you? Let's have a look. Stop looking so worried. Look, who's that pussycat? Beautiful, aren't you? Goodbye. Yeah, have some food. Stop leaving your nice food, Faddy. Bye for now.